Hello, another episode of Coffee and a Side of Tea. I'm here today with.
Hi, I'm Marissa Holguin, but everybody calls me Madi, so you can call me Madi.
Cool,
And I work in the Dean of Students office as the assistant to the Dean of Students.
sweet, good to know. So, first question: How are you and your family during this quarantine?
Good. So my family's not up here. My family's down in Southern California where, there's a lot more cases. So they're definitely
Yeah,
stressed out. I call them, we talk every day. My brother's up here. He's actually a transfer student. And
oh, nice.
he's at his second semester at Humboldt. So it's nice to have somebody up here after like 8 years of being here by myself.
I
Um,
bet.
yeah, so but down south, my sister, um, she lives there and she can't go and see my parents because she's got babies and so that's a little hard for them is trying to figure out how to stay connected.
Hmm.
They live down the street from one another, but they can't see each other. So I think
Oh,
they've gone on like walks and they've wrote on chalk on the floor where my parents go and walk so they can see it. And then my parents dropped off Easter baskets for them, saying the
oh,
Easter bunny came by. Yeah, so it's been tricky. I'm here with my dog, so he's my family. So
there you go.
it's been a little it's hard, because it feels very lonely
It
when
does.
when you're quarantining and then on a computer all day, you know.
Tell me
So
about it.
I understand a lot of students are probably feeling the same way too.
Definitely. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
been a rough time for everyone.
yeah, definitely.
Moving on. So, what do you do to pass your time during this quarantine?
I hang out with this guy who's not supposed to be on the couch, but he's on the couch. Oh, he got off. Good. I hang out with him, so which is nice because when I'm working 40 hours a week, I don't get to. I'm still working. I work till 5, but at least I get some pets in now. He'll come and sit next to me while I'm working.
Yeah.
Then on my lunch break, I can actually go in the backyard and play fetch with him and just spend some time in the sun because apparently the sun wants to come out when we have to work, but then go away on the weekends. So,
Yup.
so I've been trying to work out more since I'm home. I coach the men's volleyball club team. So during the semester, we have practice until like 10 o'clock at night.
Oh wow.
So it'd be going to work, coming home to eat really fast, and then going to practice. So it's kind of nice to have more free time, I guess I would say.
Yeah.
So after work, I've been trying to go for walks with the dog, with Bucky. And we've been trying to walk every day. And what's really nice is I don't know if you know dogs, but my dog's really reactive on a leash. So we've always social distanced. So it's like, oh, this is perfect. Everybody's like keeping their distance from us, which is nice because he needs his distance. So it's
Yeah.
easy to keep our social distance. And I think we're pretty lucky up here because it's pretty remote already.
Mhm.
So it's easier to go for walks and not run into people. So I've been trying to do that. And then
That's awesome.
I feel like I should be cooking more, but I don't. I
I
really
feel
don't.
that. I feel that for
So,
sure.
I say that I'm supporting all the local businesses.
There you go. Yeah, that's what it's
Yeah.
all about right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Being a good community member. Well, you almost kind of mentioned it a little bit, but
Mhm.
what's your daily routine like right now?
So right now I go to work. So I work 8 to 5. I'm managing the phone lines for the Dean of Students office as well. So I turn on the phones immediately as I get up and I keep them open until 5 unless, I have a meeting or an interview or
Hmm.
anything like that. So I'm working until 5 o'clock, and then after 5, I kind of gauge how tired I am. Or I think the hard part is when you're working at home all day, you still feel really tired. It's
Yeah.
hard. I want to like leave the house, but then I don't because then I'm like, oh, I'm
Yep.
done with work. I just want to relax. But then I'm like, this is work technically. I want to go for a walk or something.
Exactly.
So I gauge how I feel, and then if I feel like going for a walk, then Buck and I will go for a walk, or play in the backyard or do something. And then if not, I've got it's funny, but I've gotten really into like uh, online gaming. So I've been playing Elder Scrolls Online, so that's been you know.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of funny, but it's like a little escape. But when I feel like
Yeah.
I've been on the computer all day, it's hard to go back to a computer and stay on the computer for so long. So maybe I'll, sometimes I'll watch Netflix or clean or
There you
just,
go.
yeah, try to think of something to do. I should be reading and being productive, but
That's what I tell myself every single day. Then I just keep watching more Netflix.
I know, and Netflix keeps like putting all these shows on, so
Exactly. Then now we're bored.
yeah.
Well, that's great. I'm really glad to hear you get to see your dog more often.
Oh
I
my
know
gosh, yeah,
my
he's
dog
like,
enjoys having us home too.
yeah, they're so confused. They're like, why are you here and why are we not playing? So like right now he's like bringing me his ball.
So would you want to tell us a little bit more about what you do at HSU, what your role is?
Yeah, so I am the assistant to the Dean of Students. So the
Mm-hmm.
Dean of Students is Ebony Turnbow, or Dr. Ebony
Okay.
Turnbow. And so I assist with all her needs. So that's, that could be, hey, quiet, sorry.
It's okay.
Come here, bring it. So that's, scheduling meetings for her, going to the meetings with her. So we have like an institutional programming model committee. Sorry, Bucky, stop.
You're totally fine.
And he's like, why are you sitting there? But so we have a committee where we actually we're trying to figure out, well, it's a little different right now because it's all virtual, but we try to figure out events that we can host for students to make programming better. So I assist with that committee. So I don't know if last year or last semester or this semester we had a tailgate for the
Yeah.
women's basketball game and the men's basketball game. So that was us. We like worked with athletics and we worked with clubs, and we kind of collaborate amongst all different departments and try to figure out things that students will want. So that's really exciting and really fun. So that's
Yeah.
one part of my job, is I help with the events, help with the budget for the events, and then like putting in the tickets for requests and all that good stuff. And then I also help manage the DOS, or Dean of Students front desk phone. So I answer the incoming questions that are coming in. I schedule meetings for the care team, which we have the campus assistance response and engagement team. So for basic
Wow.
needs, our office helps students with basic needs, and they're doing Zoom meetings right now. We're actually pretty busy with that. And then we also do conduct. So if you have like a conduct case or something like that, then Roger will meet with you, and then I schedule those. We have our student assistants that I work with that are great, and they help us with all the things that we need help with. Student assistants are like the backbone sometimes, they've been helping us so much. And then we have been doing, so right now, oh, and orientation. Orientation is a big one. So we just got
Yep.
orientation in our office. So last year, orientation, or this semester for spring, we had orientation. It was the first time we had it, and of course it was during a power outage, so that was interesting.
Remember
So
that.
yeah, that was our first orientation, and we had a power outage. And now this one, we're trying to like schedule all the rooms. We're figuring out the workshops we're going to have. We're going to have the online orientation coming up soon in May, so students had to sign up for that. So we're
Cool.
getting a lot of questions about how to sign up and what it looks like. We're working on a schedule right now. We're planning for an in-person, but of course, we always have to have a plan B just in case of power outage, or we're still working virtually. So
Yeah.
it's been interesting to figure that out. But what's really nice is our team's really collaborative, and so all our departments come together and kind of figure out different ways to keep you know in contact with students and figure out what they're going to want. We do student surveys. I mean, because in clubs and activities you guys are doing it as well. You're
Exactly.
part of our team there. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's been pretty busy, but it's kind of nice to be busy. It keeps your
Yeah.
mind off of things, and it's nice to be able to help students. It's nice to hear from students, and um, to let them know that we're here for them and here to help. Mhm.
Well, I'm sure we're all glad to hear
Yeah.
that. Moving on,
Okay.
you kind of went over it already, but the next question is supposed to be, what does your role at HSU look like during the quarantine? Mostly online stuff, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so it's a lot of virtual well, it's everything is virtual.
Yeah.
So I've been answering the phone line. So we have a really cool system that IT helped us set up where we have the phone lines called directly to the laptop, which is
Oh,
really cool. So I can actually still answer the phones and it's a person rather than like a voicemail or anything like that. And you don't have to
yeah.
send an email. We're here to answer. So a lot of it's been, you know, answering a lot of students' questions. And sometimes it doesn't have anything to do with our office, but I'm just glad I'm able to help. Like before this, I worked in human resources. So we got all kinds of questions from like, what was the tax on milk to like, there's a bird here, come pick it up. Yeah. So I love helping students and I love answering questions and figuring it out. So I'm glad that I'm able to do that. And then also we have been scheduling meetings for the care team. So we've been getting reports. Sorry. Hey, come here. We've been getting reports for students, and so we're reaching out to students. We're meeting with different departments to try to figure out how they're staying connected with their students. Clubs is doing a great job. So we're trying to figure that out too, is like how to stay connected, how to let students know that we're here. Our students created like a flyer for the students so we can send it through social media. We're working on orientation right now. So locations, meeting with different committee members, trying to figure out like cross our T's and dot our I's, you know, like working with risk management, figuring out what we're going to do, our events. And then, so orientation is a big one. Working with care is a big one. Um, and then just budget. I have budget stuff to do, just checking on the budget, making sure it's all good. Working with our budget analyst and, you know, what that budget's going to look like. We have budget meetings and stuff like that. So it's been, yeah, it's been pretty much everything we've been doing in person back at HSU, but just doing it online and figuring out ways that work.
Sounds great. Sounds
Yeah,
busy. Sounds productive.
it is. Yeah. I
Sounds
know
like
my
a lot.
sister, my sister always jokes. She's like, "Oh, you're working from home." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm working from home." She doesn't believe me.
Like you're like, no, I probably was playing games on your computer, huh?
I
And you're like,
know,
no,
I
I'm
know.
working.
I'm working. I know my dad will call me. I'm like, "Dad, I'm working."
Like I'm on the clock, come on.
Yeah.
Well, next question is my favorite. Is there anything that you'd like to share for our HEC community, students, faculty, staff, anyone that might help them stay motivated or stay positive during these tough times?
Yeah, yeah, I would just say to not be so hard on yourself and to know that you're not alone. I think it gets a little difficult just in general, especially with this quarantine though, to think that you know you're going through this alone because you can't see people. You know, you can't hang
Hmm.
out with people, you can't see your friends, your family, and it's hard. It's very hard, and so don't be so hard on yourself. Self-care is really important. We tell our coworker all the time, self-care is extremely important and what that self-care looks like to you it's different than what it looks like to other people. So like with me, easy, I could go in the backyard and just relax and throw the ball around and that's self-care to me, you know.
Yeah,
So try to figure out something that's going to make you happy and kind of put you in that mindset of everything's going to be okay, and just know that staff and faculty are here to help. I've had a lot of staff and faculty call and try to figure out things that they can help their students with. So it's been really, really nice to see the campus come together and try to make sure that the students are taken care of. I know with commencement, you know, there's a lot of ideas going around to try to showcase those seniors too, and just know that they are working on it. And I totally understand, and it's a difficult situation. I have a lot of I had two seniors on my volleyball team that their, you know, season got canceled. We didn't get
yeah.
to go to nationals, and you know, so it was hard. It was definitely hard, but I think it's important to showcase those seniors, and I think it's important to know that we're here for you guys, that we love you guys, and you're not alone, and we're gonna get through this together. And anything that you guys need, just you know, reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out. We want to help. So you know, just don't be so hard on yourself. Understand that we're all going through it. And I don't know. Yeah, does that work?
That was honestly beautiful. That inspired me right now. I'm also seeing commencement was rough for me too to
I
have that
know.
news told me. So I'm like, you know what? You're still right.
It's gonna, I know, and it's hard. I was a first generation college student, so I can
Hmm.
only imagine, like, if I were going through this, how I would feel. So, but just know that, yeah, HSU is doing something. They understand that, and I have faith in, what they're going to do. And we're going to celebrate you guys because you went through a lot.
Yeah.
Blackouts too,
Oh yeah, the fires, the blackouts, not the coronavirus. It's crazy.
If you can get through this, you can get through anything.
Pretty much. All right. Now this one's kind of more funny tones. But first off, how has your experience with Zoom been with meetings?
It's been okay. I don't have a camera on my computer, so I'm using my
Oh,
boyfriend's computer actually. So,
nice.
yeah, my camera doesn't work. So, video or audio is fine, but the video part is funny. I'm like, oh yeah, what am I doing? Like I gotta remember that I'm on video when it's happening.
Mhm.
I like look away and stuff when I should be like looking. But Zoom has sometimes gives me trouble when I log in. It makes me like log in again. And then there's been times where, like I have a meeting and I'm in the meeting and then like my computer shut down or something like that. I'm like, so
Yeah.
virtually it's a little difficult because I want to be there, but sometimes, the technology, something happens.
Yeah.
So that's been a little frustrating. And then sometimes when I click on the link, it's like, you're not authorized to go into this meeting. I'm like, I set up the meeting. Why can't I go into the meeting? So I've been getting a little frustrated with Zoom, but I'm getting there. And then there's trainings on it. So
Yeah.
it's just different. I like the in-person, you know?
Me too.
Yeah, and then it's hard when there's like multiple people and then you kind of talk over each other. It's definitely interesting, but at least it's nice, at least you get to stay connected still. And
Yeah.
um like I have meetings with my students every Thursday, so we like meet and we get to see each other and it's kind of fun. It's like a check-in and we talk about work, but then we also just like we're able to see each other. We're like, what are you cooking, like so we just
Yes.
check in and we talk to one another, so it's been fun. It's good
Zoom has
to be
definitely
able
been
to
a cool
see.
platform.
Yeah, definitely. It's helpful in this
Yeah.
time. I think my niece is using it and she's in like elementary school, but they use it to talk to each other, which is really cool. Like she had like a little
Yeah.
Zoom meeting with all her classmates and she probably
Oh,
understands it
so
more than I
sweet.
do. Yeah. So it is kind of funny. Yeah.
That kind of leads me to my next question. You may have already answered it for yourself, but have you had any funny moments or silly moments with Zoom?
Um, Silly, no. Not well, I mean, I think this is the silliest. My dog hasn't been barking and he's been really good. But right now he decides he wants to bark and talk to me. So I'm sorry.
It's totally fine. There are
He's
work from
been
home
good.
coworkers.
I know he's a loud coworker. But no, I haven't really had anything too crazy. Like I said, my video doesn't work all the time, so that kind of helps. I can just mute myself, and then if he's
Hmm.
barking, I'm like, hey, like stop, go outside.
Yeah.
Um, so I just my computer crashed the other day while I was in a Zoom meeting, and I was like, that was a frustrating thing that happened.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't think anything funny has happened, which is sad, but I wish I could say something. Well, not really. I don't want something to happen when I'm in a meeting, but
Hmm.
no. Have you had one?
I haven't had any either, but
Yeah.
I've had plenty of friends tell me about some of their stories. There was someone
Mhm.
who suddenly turned on their camera and they were like hugging a horse, and I was when I heard that, I was like, that cannot be real. So it's based on that story that I heard. I'm like, okay, I want to hear everyone's crazy stories.
Dang it. No, I haven't had one. Well, I had when I was like on the phone, I had my neighbor's dog run into the house. And I was like, ugh.
Whoa.
Well, because they have a puppy next door, so she just runs in and out. But
Oh.
I have to like
Hmm.
hurry her outside. But that wasn't too funny. That was just like, hey Jody, what are you doing? And then she like ran out. And that
That's
was the
something.
phone.
Alrighty. And second to last question.
Mhm.
Why did you choose to work at HSU?
I chose to work at HSU because I graduated from there. So I was a wildlife student and I graduated in 2015 um, with my bachelor's. And then as soon as I finished, I needed a job. I needed to pay my rent and pay my bills. And so I found a job. I was a student assistant in human resources while I was a student. And then after that, they had a lot of changes in their office and they asked if I wanted to be an emergency hire for the front desk position. And I said, yeah, that's perfect. It was a little funny because I have very strict parents. And so my dad was like, if you don't find a job, you have to come back home because I can't help financially. I was like, I know, I got this.
Yeah.
And then it was like within weeks, I got a job. Within weeks of like graduating, I got a job. My dad was really sad. He was like, okay, yeah. He
But
was
you're
like,
on the
I
other hand,
get
you're
it.
like, hey.
I was like, sorry, Dad, I got a job. So I started working there, and then like I said, I was a wildlife student, but I didn't go towards a wildlife job or career. A lot of the jobs were very seasonal, temporary jobs, and
Mhm.
at the time, financially, I needed something stable. I had, student loans were going to kick in, and all
Oh yeah.
that fun stuff. So it was nice, and I was very fortunate to be able to work in human resources. And then I always say that humans are the toughest wildlife to manage anyway. They're not wildlife, but still toughest animals to manage.
True.
And then I realized when I was working there that I really want to work with students. And so that kind of led me into coaching the men's volleyball club team and working with students in that sense. And then going to the dean of students office and working with students there. And so I'm very passionate about HSU because I came from Southern California and, it was very, I didn't I didn't grow into myself until I came up to HSU and I kind of found who I am or who I want to be up here. And it was tough. I was on my own and my parents didn't go to college and didn't graduate college. So I was first generation and I didn't know what I was doing. And I had a lot of help along the way. And so I want to be able to help those students in the same way that they helped me. And so I want to stay at HSU because I want them to succeed there because I loved it so much. And yeah, and so that's why I work at HSU is I believe in it and I want to help the students that are there. And like I said, I was very lucky to have the people that helped me along the way and I want to make sure students have the same help.
That was such a wholesome answer. I love it.
That's good.
Well, I agree with you on like almost everything. I'm just not sure if I'm gonna be able to go back to HSU work there yet, but maybe in the future we'll see what'll
Yeah.
happen. But yeah, I
Yeah.
totally agree. Being a student staff at HSU has been really life changing in so many
Yeah.
positive ways for me too. So,
And it opens a lot of doors too, you know. It's
mhm,
definitely a good choice in a job when you're a student because it's so flexible with your hours too. I always tell students, I'm like,
exactly,
you guys should get a student assistant job or an ISA or a TA or a GA. Just work on
exactly.
campus.
All right. Well, now the last question, which is not really a question, it's a series of questions, a speed round of this or that answers. So when you're ready, just let me know.
Okay, wait. Oh, so it's a speed round?
Speed round of this or that answers. So, for
Okay.
example, cats or dogs, and you just gotta answer within a
Oh,
few seconds. Which one is
okay.
your answer?
Okay, I'm nervous. Okay.
It will be too hard. All right. And coffee or tea?
Coffee,
Rain or sun?
sun,
Singing or dancing?
dancing,
Superman or Batman?
Batman.
Dutch
I'm a
Bros or
DC
Starbucks?
fan, so. Huh?
There you go. Superman or Bat? No way, I said that one just now. I
Uh-huh.
mean, Dutch Bros or Starbucks?
Dark roast or Starbucks?
Dutch Bros.
Oh, Dutch Bros. Did you get it?
Oh, you answered Dutch Bros. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, Dutch
Oh.
Bros. Come here, Buck.
What's worse, laundry or dishes?
Laundry. Yeah,
Pen or
because then you got to put
pencil?
it away.
Oh yeah, that's what I said.
What was it?
Pen or pencil?
Pen.
Book or TV?
Milk?
Book.
Oh, uh, ooh, it depends. I like to read. Oh, I have to answer it quickly. Okay, I'll say book.
Ocean or mountain?
Ocean.
Pizza or tacos?
Tacos.
And last one, breakfast or dinner?
Breakfast.
All right, I like your answer for that one too. All right. Well,
I
that
know.
concludes my end of questions. Do you have anything else you want to add?
How are you doing? How are you doing during this time?
I'm doing pretty good. Was not ready for that question,
I know. Now
obviously.
you get interviewed.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing good. I came home to the Bay Area from Humboldt. I will be moving out of my apartment officially this weekend. So kind of sad for that. I'm gonna miss Humboldt for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm lucky to say that I got into grad school, so I have something waiting for me in the fall.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So yeah, I do have a plan, even though it's really unsteady of if it's gonna be in person or not. So it might be more online classes after I'm done with Humboldt. Just
Yeah.
won't
Oh.
stop. But something's something, right?
Yeah, exactly. Where are you going to grad school?
I'm going to the Middlebury Institute to study international environmental policy.
Wow.
Yeah, it has a nice ring to it.
And it starts in the fall?
Yeah, August 17th, I think.
Yeah. And it's in person?
I'm hoping so.
Yeah, let's hope. I know. We're
Yeah.
crossing our fingers too. Well, congratulations. That's exciting. That's some good news
Thank
in
you.
this tough time.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, that's good.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. It's been a
Yeah.
pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, you too. Thank you for doing this, and I hope students, are having a good time with it. It was fun. Hopefully my dog didn't, bark too loud, but
Oh, I'm just lucky because my dog is asleep right now. But
I know
otherwise, could
he
have been
was
here too.
asleep.
All right. Take care. Talk to you soon.
Bye. Thank you.